Okay, I need to hold this, this mic way further from... I had so many ideas for this podcast and things that I wanted to talk about. There's not enough light in here. Whatever. And things that I wanted to talk about, and I didn't even know where to start. I was like... I just didn't know what to talk about, and I was gonna write notes out for it, and then that ended up being me oh, I guess I'll write out a script, but that's so much editing, and I really don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna talk out of my butthole today. We're gonna see where it takes us. We're gonna see. We don't even have a name for the podcast. This is all experimental right now. Okay. Well, I know I'm gonna continue doing a podcast, but we don't know how it's going to work yet. So let's talk about... So I'm a freshman in high school. I'm so old now. And that was kind of cringy, but you get it. I'm a high schooler now, which feels weird. And not weird. It's I'm not even going to go into that. But I'm a high schooler now, and we're a little over halfway through the year. It's January of my first year. It's 2023, and I graduate in 2026, which is scary. That feels scarily close. I remember 2016 and being I'm going to graduate in 2026. Girl, it's almost here. And I can't even imagine, my friends who are, actually seniors, I would be pooping my pants. But, that, I don't even have to worry about that right now, It's not even a problem. My posture is so bad, I'm so sorry. It's not even a problem yet. We don't have to worry about it yet. Just gonna be a kid for a little longer. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness, my camera just almost caboosed. Okay, so... During the summer, sorry, my phone's blowing up with messages. During the summer, I've had this, how much do I want to share? During the summer, I was kind of experimenting with my friends a little bit. I was seeing who I wanted to get close with, who I wanted to associate myself with, because I had a really bad middle school experience, and it was okay, now I get to start all over and pick who my friends are and basically pick my persona. So what do I want to do? How do I want to do this? And I was, in my head, I was thinking, okay, basically, I get to pick, my friend. I get to Anyway, I was I basically get to, reinvent myself. I know there's, a lot of kind of, skepticism. Is that the right word to use for this situation? There's a lot of skepticism going around about the reinventing yourself thing, but, I don't mean it in that way. I mean, I got an entirely blank slate to meet new people and to present myself however I wanted, because these people didn't know me. I'm sorry, I have to cough, and there's people over there. Oh, that was a burp. That wasn't a cough. Whatever. I basically get to reinvent myself for high school. And so I was okay, I'm getting to the topic of this video in a minute if you didn't see the title. But I basically was oh, I get to reinvent myself for high school, almost. I get a fresh start. And then it was okay, who do I want my friends to be? And I ended up, kind of beginning of the year, beginning of the school year, associating with people that, they're not bad people at all, but were really unhealthy for me personally to associate with. So, there's a car leaving. I keep looking over there. Anyway, they were really unhealthy for me to associate with. And it was affecting mentally and affecting my confidence. And it was affecting how, my eyes twitching. It was affecting how I was like portrayed to other people. And then I ended up, and I'm still kind of like, people are still seeing me that way a little bit. Like, it's been a while. Well, not a while, but like, I kind of started separating myself from them. And like, I'm still kind of rubbing off that persona that I created when I was with them. But, you know, so these people were very much invested, and I don't even know if, like, at the time I realized that this was a thing. I don't know if like we all realize this is a thing or not, or if that was just me, or I feel like we all kind of realize it, we just don't talk about it. The high school social hierarchy. So let me explain. If you after yawn real quick. The high school social hierarchy. So basically, in high school, from what I've seen so far, I don't know if this happens with every group, every grade, but there's kind of like the whole thing you see about like cliches on TV. I think is kind of accurate. Like, I mean, the cheerleaders, the Discord kids, the band kids, the sport kid, like it all feels like there are cliches, but then there's also friend groups, and like you kind of like, those are how you know people, by like their cliches and their friend groups. And that may just be the kind of like thing I'm living in. That may not be for everybody, but that's kind of what it feels like. And going to school, and this friend group was very, in the school social hierarchy, they were very high on the hierarchy. Like popular. And not popular in a way like kind of how you think of like a popular kid. Popular as in a lot of people like knew these kids, and they were very powerful. We were very powerful. Like, I mean, this kind of sounds narcissistic, but I feel like I can't, my hand's been up here. This kind of sounds narcissistic, but we were powerful. Like, and I left that group, but then, like, the group now is still so powerful. As in, and how would you define power in, like, high school? These kids, it was like, if you got on their bad side, your life was ruined. Like, you're over. There's, like, there wouldn't be anything, well, I guess there's stuff that you could do, but, like, if they didn't like you, it was over. They would essentially ruin your life. And I don't even know if they mean to do that on purpose, because they're all, like, they're good people. And, like, I love them, but they were so unhealthy for me just because of the way that, like, the high school social hierarchy worked. And so they're, like, these amazing, great people, but in high school, I'm talking way too loud and I'm, like, hurting my ears. In high school, it's not healthy for me to, like, kind of be in that group. But I want to explain what this is in the social hierarchy, what I wanted to talk about, social hierarchy-wise. So, like, there's all the cliches, duh, and then there's who stands where, power-wise, and there's also, like, so this whole thing is, like, it's almost like high school politics. It's social politics, which is probably already a thing. I'm probably just being stupid. But it's like social politics. You've got to know what to say, when to say it, who to say it with, what things to stray from, what things to do in certain groups if you want to succeed. And, like, succeeding in the social politics, it's kind of arbitrary. Like, there's no real definition for that, I guess. There's no definition for success anyway, but, like, especially with this, you know. And to succeed, what I'm saying in this sense of the word, to succeed is like to have people like you. And when I say people, not only are we talking about the kids and like your fellow students, but this also includes like staff members and teachers. It's all like this big intricate game of politics that like makes your standing on the social hierarchy. And the social hierarchy doesn't even have to like, because high school's so big, even if you're on like the top of the social hierarchy, not everyone's gonna know you. Like, it's not that kind of thing. It's like, it's not. It's, sorry if I say like a lot. When I'm talking, I'm just like talking, I do say like a lot, and so try to ignore it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say it. Just kind of a reflex. The social hierarchy, and so it's all this big intricate game of school politics. And back in, this was around HOCO, so the beginning of school, like August to November something, I was playing the high school social hierarchy like nobody's business. And it was so stressful. School, everything felt like a game. Everything you did, at least in public, and if you did something private, that would like, even the things you did private, as long as like the things you would share, it's all under scrutiny, and it all defines like your standing in the social hierarchy. And so I was always playing these like social politics. And let me kind of describe what I'm talking about, because I've been, again, talking out of my butthole for 15 minutes. I basically, so let me describe my day, and I think describe like my day in kind of like those months, how my normal day would go, and I think that would help explain a lot. So like, because I keep saying high school social hierarchy and social politics and like all those things, but then everyone's like, okay, well, describe. So basically what I'd do, I obviously would wake up, I'd get ready. It starts at getting ready. So the way you dress, how you dress is going to obviously be under scrutiny. Same with your the way you look, your hair, your makeup, your outfit. It will all define how people see you, because like some people aren't going to talk to you. They're going to see that first thing, but then also, even more importantly, and probably even more judgmental, is in your friend groups. So you're in your groups. Say I wore like the outfit I'm wearing right now, which is like this lace top, this necklace, this little blue top, and then like bootcut jeans and a claw clip, but my hair was down earlier. So I would be wearing that and Converse. I would, in that group, oh my god, you look so cute, like compliments. It kind of like fits an aesthetic, which I will do a whole nother episode on, and like, you know, that kind of thing. Then if I wore, which is another outfit that I wear a lot of different outfits. I wore like an H&M sweater and black bootcut pants and like Air Forces. I would get like, you seriously gonna wear that? You look basic. You look like so-and-so. And like, obviously they don't want to be like, you can't sit with us, like freaking Mean Girls. But you know, I would be either judged like outwardly, like, are you seriously wearing that? Or like that, you know, that look when someone's judging you, they're like, that's an interesting outfit. Like, girl, I'm about to go to the ghetto on you. Like, I want to move around. Like, I talk with my hands a lot, but I don't want to make my camera fall. Anyway. Okay. We're gonna have to figure out a lighting situation. Okay. This is the lighting now. So the outfit would kind of like get me judged in the group, and it would, the outfit kind of like, I feel like the way we judge people kind of defines how we're gonna like befriend them. Like, if we don't like someone's outfit, we're less likely to, this is probably like obvious information, but you know, say it anyway because it's working with my train of thought. But we befriend someone just based on like their outfit, like, or no, that's not true, but like if you're friends with someone, you're more likely to kind of have like a positive image of them in your mind if they're like, their style fits your criteria. Then the other part that was like a big role in things was what I would say, like the kind of things I would say, and that sounds super broad, but for example, jokes, I would joke it's like, okay, here's a great example. If you've ever played like Cards Against Humanity or Apples to Apples, and it's supposed to be like a funny game. I'm saying this because it's most of the time it's funny, but like sometimes it's not. You know, you get it. And there's like all the different people at the table, and it's one person's turn to judge, and they read their card, and you have a card that you might find funnier, but you're catering, like you wanna, if you're playing to win, what you do is you cater to that person's humor. Like, what would they think was really funny? And so you'd pick that card. And it's the same. Like, it changes around the table. To be like, oh, well, for Billy, I would use this card, but it's Bob's turn. And this card is, it fits Bob's humor more. And that's kind of how you do it. And it's like that. It was like that in, like, my friend group. And kind of just in, like, school in general. You would cater to whoever you were with. You could make one type of joke with some people and another type of joke with another person. You make the wrong joke or you say the wrong thing, you're out. I don't know. You'd set a joke that was unfunny, and then someone was like, oh, she's not funny. She's so annoying. She said that, and like reads it. I don't know. You kind of have to, it's your audience. Whoever your audience is, you have to pander to your audience. And so, like, that was a whole thing. And this is the same with teachers. Certain teachers you can kind of share more with, and certain teachers you can't. And over time, I kind of, like, you get more comfortable with your friends or with teachers, and you can kind of be yourself. But when you're playing the social hierarchy, that is when 24/7, it's like you are playing the game. You cannot, if you stop playing the game, it's really hard to start playing it again. You can't let your guard down. That sounds cringy, but I mean, that's kind of what it is. You can never let your guard down. You're playing the social hierarchy. You're invited to this and you're not invited. Like, the social hierarchy, and many people would be like, oh, well, it's not important, so just be yourself. And like, if people don't like you, that's their problem, which is what I say now. However, it's really not that easy. And this is why. For one, it's kind of like a self thing. It's really hard to not play the social game, the high school social game. It's really hard to not do it when you aren't comfortable with yourself. If you're not comfortable with yourself, if you're not comfortable with yourself, then when you stop playing the social hierarchy, if you lose a lot of friends, you're gonna be like, you won't be able to be authentic, one, like, you're gonna be like, oh, well, I'm gonna stop playing the social game and I'm gonna be like myself. It's really hard to be authentic if you don't like yourself. And B, when you're playing the social game, you get so much validation if you do it right. I feel like when I was playing the game, I was doing it pretty good, like, pretty good. And, oh, I sound like a narcissist, but I promise I'm not. Purposefully. But when you're playing the social game, you get so much validation. You get, not only would I get validation from, like, friends, like peers, but I would also get validation romantically, and especially from men. Like, especially from men. And it wasn't just like my personality that was getting validated, but it was my looks, which is probably, I'm still kind of insecure, but I'm less insecure than I was. And I was very, very insecure. And so getting that validation, especially from guys, like that this person had a crush on me. This person wants to do this. This person wants to be my friend. This person thinks I'm really cool. It was so validating. But then you get like, this person thinks you're annoying AF. I say AF because I don't want to cuss on the internet. But it was like, this person thinks you're so annoying. That does so much, it does so much more harm than good. You get all this validation, but in the end, what's really going to impact you are all those people that are saying the negative things. And a lot of the social hierarchy game is related to gossip. And, like, who you gossip with. Like, if you gossip with this person, you can't with this person. This person will tell everyone, this person won't. And sometimes you utilize who tells everyone and who doesn't. It's like, if this person tells everyone, you gossip to them something that you want everybody to know, but you don't go telling everyone. You're like, oh, da, 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 da. They tell everyone for you, and it's like oh, I sound like such a bad person right now, but that's kind of how you do it. And then, like, oh, this person is close with this person, so I'm going to gossip this to them because I want this person to know, but I'm not going to tell them directly because it's not that kind of thing. It's like a mind. I'm trying not to cuss. I'm sorry. You know. Mind crazy. Mind made. I don't know. I can't think of another word. But I don't know. That my throat made a really weird noise. But it was so crazy, and I'm talking about it, and it sounds crazy. Like, this sounds like some Gossip Girl stuff. But it's true. And, like, it's the same thing with even messages. Your messages, and this is kind of still true, your messages can always be screenshotted. Always. Or shown. So whatever you message to someone, even with, like, the unsend Apple thing now, people can still get a hold of it. So be careful what you send and message. And that is a lesson from Ava for today. Double check your messages. I think that's about... Let's kind of wrap this up because this is getting a little long. And I feel like I covered everything. But let's talk about... Oh, you know what would be important to talk about? Let's talk about how to get out of the social hierarchy. Like, if you're stuck in it. Because I know that... I hope that for at least one person, this is, like, eye-opening, and they're like, I'm stuck in the... But, like, if you have, like, a big friend group, maybe there's a little bit of drama in it, but you feel like you're not playing that game, that's okay. I'm talking about the toxicity. I'm talking about playing a game for validation. So this is how I feel like I'm pretty out of it. I want to say, I still do seek that validation. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm like, guys, I'm all better and I'm not insecure anymore and da-da-da, because that's not true. But I feel like I'm out of that hole that I was in those few months, where I was kind of like, I have more room to be my authentic self and be healthier at least. I feel pretty healthy right now, but that's not what this episode's about. Number 1, sometimes you just have to remove yourself. And it's easier to say that than to do it. With me, a lot of it was like on the weekends, we're hanging out, we're texting all the time, blah, blah, blah. Stop. Sometimes, I know it's hard, it's more, I'm kind of in a, like, it's more complicated if you really love that person. But if you can, cut them off. You do what's best for you in the end, because you only have yourself when it really comes down to it. Like, if I die, like, no one has me. I don't know if that makes sense. If I die, no one has me, but like if everyone else dies, I still have me. That didn't make any sense at all. But you get what I mean. You really only have yourself. And if you hate yourself, that's not a good place to be, which is kind of seeping into, I don't know if we're on 2 or 3. I think we're on 2 or 1. We're going into 2. We're saying this next part's 2. So like you're separating yourself, switching over to 2, and you take that time to kind of find, like, do some self-reflection. Whatever you may need, it's different for everyone. Maybe what you need is shadow work. Maybe you need, like, to like, you have some trauma you need to kind of process. Maybe you don't really, like, know your passions, your hobbies. Maybe you're trying to find those. Maybe you're, like, you need a schedule. Maybe you feeling depressed. Like, whatever you need to do, like, you work on yourself. You take that time for self-care. You work on yourself. And like, when I did that kind of portion, I was very much like, well, I had like one really good friend or 2, but like only really talked to one. But I was pretty much like, I was just by myself. Even those really good friends, I didn't really talk to them outside of school. So I was like alone. And when you're left alone, and obviously there's family, but like you get what I mean. When I was alone, I had to learn how to enjoy my own company and how to take care of myself without feeling bad. And so I kind of like learned how to, I'm trying to think how to word this so that it makes sense. I learned how to spend time with myself and enjoy it, if that makes sense. And so now, if all my friends, I love my friends so much. I have very good friends now. But if all my friends were to just leave me today, it would be okay. I know it would be okay. Because I love myself. And I love spending time with myself. And it's been like that before. I know it's going to be okay. Once you've kind of figured that out, I say, this is kind of, well, no, that falls more under mental health. I was going to say establish routines, but that's more mental health. That's another episode. But, so you're at a social high, you cut people off. The main thing, do what's best for you. As long as it doesn't hurt, like, anyone. Like, it may hurt someone's feelings, but you know what I mean, like, seriously hurt someone. Do what's best for you. You don't need to please anyone. It's not, you don't need to, you You do not need to please anyone. You don't. Like, you seriously don't. And I wish I knew that, like, a long time ago. You don't have to please people. It's not your job. If they're not, like, obviously you want to, like, help people. But if it's not good for you, remove yourself. You do what's best for you. And if it makes you feel better, why do my lips look purple? That's so weird. If it makes you feel better, you can't, so, like, your energy, I will also do another episode. There's so much stuff I want to talk about. Your energy, you can't give energy that you don't have. You can't give and, like, be there for somebody if you're not there for yourself, if you're not healthy and stable with yourself. So you need to be stable in yourself to help those other people, because otherwise you're giving energy that you don't have, and then it just gets worse for both of you, and that's when things become toxic or just bad. Toxic for you, toxic for them. Excuse me. Does more harm than good. And that's when you can start kind of getting out there, I guess. Well, no, I don't want to say, like, purposefully, like, okay, I'm gonna go make friends now. Like, that's not what we're doing. When you're ready, when that energy in you is stable, it attracts. You attract people. You attract what's yours. And that's when things kind of, like, become a little better. And it's still always hard being your authentic self. But don't be afraid to do what's best for you. And I do not recommend playing the social hierarchy game. Oh, I should probably say something about, like, teachers and staff members. Just be nice to them. Don't be a butthole. Don't be that kid that's so freaking annoying. Don't. They're there to help you, and some teachers are actually really friendly, and I like you can like talking to them sometimes. Like, they're nice. And as long as you do your work, you try your best, and you're not annoying in class. I'm talking to those kids that are screaming at 7 a.m. because you guys have a special place in hell. That was harsh, but why are we screaming at 7 a.m? Just be nice to them and try your best. And I promise it helps so much. I cannot tell you the amount of times my butt has been saved by a teacher because I was nice and I was respectful and I did my work. It always pays off. I am telling you guys, it always pays off. And it's been that way since, like, middle school. I promise. That is my big advice to you guys. But I hope that made some coherent sense. I talk a lot. Very obviously. And then I'm going to have to watch this video. And it's going to take forever. But to my 16 subscribers, I love you. I know, like, all of you in real life. So, heart, if you're watching this, love you. I said that already. I don't know what to call this podcast yet, but we're gonna figure it out together. You and me, we're gonna figure it out together. We're gonna figure out this podcast. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna structure it. But right now, I'm just talking. So, thanks for listening to me talk for 40 minutes. If you watched the whole video, props to you. I talk a lot. I hope you have a really good day or a good night. It's night for me. I don't know what. It's about 7 o'clock. So, I'm gonna, like, eat dinner, get ready for bed, finish up some homework, you know. Down below, if you have, like, a topic that you think I should talk about, feel free to leave it. I'm talking to 16. This is so cringy that I'm talking to, like, people I know in real life. And I'm like, leave a comment down below, guys. It's so bad. But you get it. If you have a topic you want me to discuss, leave it in the comments. I have a list of stuff I'm going to talk about, hopefully. So this is what we learned today. Be nice to your teachers. Do what's best for you. Sometimes people are jerks, but you have yourself and that's okay. Deep thoughts with Ava. I really need to end this. Bye.